Have you ever sat in a room full of people, all eyes on you, and still felt completely invisible, like everyone had already decided who you were, what you were worth, and how the story was going to end, without ever asking you a single question? That was me, standing in a courthouse I never thought I'd see from the inside, watching my own life get picked apart by the person who knew me best, and chose to hurt me anyway. My name is Evelyn Carter. Or at least that's the name people associate with success now. Back then, sitting at that wooden table with my hands clenched so tight my nails dug into my palms, I felt like I was about to lose everything. Not because I failed, not because I made some reckless mistake, but because my husband decided that if he couldn't own me, he would destroy me. Let me back up. I didn't grow up with money. I grew up watching my mom stretch a paycheck that barely lasted 2 weeks, watching her choose between paying the power bill and buying groceries. I learned early that nothing was guaranteed. So I worked hard. Through college, through bad jobs, through nights where I slept on a couch in a studio apartment with a laptop balanced on my knees, teaching myself how to build something from scratch. I started a small wellness brand out of my kitchen. Nothing glamorous. Jars, labels mistakes, burned batches, refunds. But it grew. Slowly, painfully then, all at once. 10 years later, the business had a real office. Real employees, real contracts. People called me self-made like it was a compliment, but they didn't see the cost. The loneliness, the pressure, the way success makes people feel entitled to pieces of you. That included my husband Marcus. When I met Marcus, he was charming in that effortless way that makes you feel chosen. He listened. He laughed at my bad jokes. He said things like, "You're different, and you deserve more than this grind." He made me feel safe. And when you've spent your whole life fighting for stability, safety feels like love. We got married fast. No prenup. I know. People love to judge that part. But when you trust someone, really trust them, paperwork feels like an insult. I thought we were a team. Turns out I was the project. Marcus never worked in my company. Never showed interest in the numbers, the strategy, the late nights. But he loved the lifestyle. The trips, the dinners, the way people treated him once my name meant something. And slowly, without me noticing his support, turned into resentment. 6 months before the court date, he filed for divorce. Not quietly. Not privately. Publicly. And he didn't just want out. He wanted half of everything, then more. He told people I was unstable, that I couldn't manage finances, that I had a problem. He said he was protecting the business from me, and people believed him. That's the thing no one tells you about being a woman who builds something big. The moment someone questions your competence, the room leans in. They want to see you fall. In court, his lawyer painted me as reckless and isolated. "She has no close family," he said, pacing like he was performing. "No character witnesses, no one willing to vouch for her integrity." And the judge looked at me waiting. I opened my mouth and realized the truth hurt worse than the lies. "I don't have anyone," I said. That was the lowest moment of my life. Then a voice cut through the room, small, sharp. "Excuse me." Everyone turned. "Let her speak." Marcus went pale. The girl walked forward like she belonged there. She looked straight at my husband and said, "He's lying." I heard him. The room exploded. His lawyer jumped up, calling it ridiculous. The judge silenced him with one look. The girl introduced herself as Lily. She said she spent nights near a cafe downtown because there was a vent that blew warm air when it rained. 2 weeks earlier, she'd been sitting there when Marcus and his lawyer sat nearby laughing, talking loudly, carelessly. He said she was easy, Lily told the court, pointing at me, because she had nobody. He said he could take everything and she wouldn't be able to fight back. I felt like I'd been punched. Then Lily reached into her pocket and pulled out a folded piece of paper. "He dropped this," she said. I didn't know what it was, but it looked important. The judge unfolded it slowly. It was a handwritten plan. Dates, names, payments, fake documents, all in Marcus's handwriting. The silence was unreal. Marcus stood up, yelling. Calling her a liar, nobody saying no one should believe a street kid. The judge had him escorted out before he could say another word. Court was recessed. Reporters flooded the hallway. And I sat there stunned, staring at a child who just did what I couldn't. Afterward, I asked Lily why she did it. Why risk everything? She looked at me and said, "You don't remember me, but I remember you." A year earlier, I'd left my office late and seen her shivering outside. I gave her my scarf, asked her name, told her to stay safe. It was 5 minutes of my life. It was everything to hers. The investigation that followed was brutal. Marcus's lies unraveled fast. His accounts, his accomplices, his arrogance. Charges were filed, assets frozen. He went from confident to desperate in record time. But the real change wasn't legal. Lily came home with me that night. Just for safety at first, then for school, then for good. Watching her sleep in a clean bed, eat until she was full, laugh without flinching, it rewired something in me. I thought I was fighting to save my company. Turns out I was fighting to remember who I was. Marcus thought my isolation made me weak. He underestimated kindness. He underestimated memory. He underestimated the smallest voice in the room. Now here's where I want to hear from you. Do you think Lily should have spoken up even though it put her at risk? Do you believe kindness creates obligation, or was this just fate balancing the scales? And be honest, how many times have you walked past someone invisible, never thinking they might one day change everything? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Argue, disagree, tell your own story. Because if there's one thing I learned, it's this. Justice doesn't always come from power. Sometimes it comes from the people we overlook, and sometimes the quietest voices are the ones that end the fight.